Hello and welcome to this review of Canadian Club Whiskey aged 6 years. Around 2015, I guess it was. I can't quite find out the exact time, but this whiskey went from 6-year age, which it had always been, to the current 5-year aged. If you look on the Beam-Suntory website, however, they're still talking about 6-year. I'm thinking that's just some information they neglected to update. Because if you go to the Canadian Club brand website, they talk about the process, or I guess in Canada, the process, and they clearly state 5 years, okay? It's aged to date. Blended Canadian whiskey, introduced in 1858. So in the United States, it's called Canadian Club 1858. In Canada, is a different name. If you click on Canada or click on the United States, it gives you a different website with different, actually different brands and items available. This is a black or dark brown plastic bottle. I bought this at International Market, who they tend to have a lot of old, in some cases, decades-old bottles. I'm thinking this is from 2013, but I don't know. I'm not sure about that code. Okay. So they had this mixed in with the more modern 5-year age bottle, so I had to go through they must have had 50, two rows of 50 each. That's how many they've got over there. So they must have gotten a great deal on some back stock from some probably out of business place. Okay, never before had the 6-year. Me and my beer reviewing and whiskey reviewing, wine reviewing friends were very pleased with the Canadian Club 5-year. So I'm assuming that the 6-year will be even better. 80 proof. Let's see, they're saying on the website it's the only Canadian blended whiskey that's blended before it goes into the barrel, I believe they said. And the main body of this is the corn whiskey, and they describe it as colorless, odorless, flavorless base, which we know in the United States is used for the blended whiskeys, the grain neutral spirits. Colorless, odorless, tasteless. That's it. That's all it is a base. And they build upon the base. Now they say on the website, where does the flavor come from? It comes from the barley malt and the rye, okay? The corn does not give it any flavor. And if it does, there's an error. It's not supposed to provide any flavor. It's simply a distilled grain liquid base. Okay. Until 1891, it was just called club whiskey. New United States law forced it to become known as Canadian Club whiskey because some American distributors were complaining that it was hurting their business. So, of course, they got the government to intervene. Nice alcohol. It's very humid out here. It's warming up. The appearance is, well, let's try to get this condensation off of here. Golden, clear, golden. They talk about its light flavor. I didn't read the tasting notes, just about the light body, I guess I should say. Yeah, it smells like Canadian Club. I'll be curious to put this up in the taste challenges against the other imported Canadian whiskeys I've got. Obviously, they're imported for me because I don't live in Canada. This has that sweet, light, and even in some ways, maybe a little smokiness, which is odd. So there's a little bread. A lot of nectar, floral, flowery notes. Yeah, I guess that's what it is. It's hard to describe these things. Maybe a little beeswax. I thought the Albertson's Canadian Blended, which is 3-year aged, I thought that one had a very unusual aroma and taste, and somebody described it as cardamom or something. They were telling me maybe that's what it is. It is very strange, and I don't think I would mix these two up, that one and this. I don't think I'd confuse them. But this has some interesting and intricate notes too that I can't quite place. It's some kind of spicy, spicy, waxy, it's sort of a bursting aroma in the nose. Definitely a spicy, tangy, is it tangy? I don't know what it is, but it's, or honey, I don't know. You have to try it. I can't describe them very well. I can tell you if I like them or not, if I think they're well made or not. Same thing. This spice. I don't know if it's the kind of rye they use. I guess there's variations, I would assume, of rye. And it's much different from the Sazerac rye, which is like almost a black pepper note. This has in some ways like a grains of paradise thing going on that you might get in some of those Samuel Adams flavored beers. But definitely a interesting, spicy, and let's say menthol or wintergreen. Yeah, I think that's what it is. Also a wintergreen menthol. It is light bodied, and it's a dry finish. And it's very easygoing. This is one of the world's most popular Canadian whiskeys, and you can see why when you taste it. It's a total delight. If there's any detriment, or if there's anything negative about it, I would love to know what that is. I don't think I could find anything negative to say about it. I believe the bottle was $5.99 at International Market. It might have been $4.99. I can't quite recall, but it was no more for sure than $5.99. I know that for a fact. So $11.98 a bottle. That's exactly what it would be for a new brown glass 750 milliliter bottle right there at Winn-Dixie. And they have a special at Winn-Dixie right now. You get the bottle and you get a beautiful Canadian Club glass with it in that pack for $11.99. A little different label design than this older one. So as now there's wood coming into play as it's breathing. Definite oak, white oak. Yes. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this one at all. It is a little bit better from my recollection of the 5-year, better than the 5-year, but maybe not remarkably better, and that's probably why they were able to drop it down to 5, take the age statement off the label, and hope nobody noticed too much, and apparently no one really did. Except people like me, you know, that are like looking into everything, reading about everything. So it's a top-notch product. No complaints whatsoever. If you do see a bottle of the 6-year age, snatch it up if it's a reasonable price. I think you'd be quite pleased. And if you come to Louisiana and Metairie and go to International Market, you can get a whole bunch of bottles for not a whole bunch of money. So laissez-les bon temps rouler, as we say in the beer reviews. Let the good times roll, especially with this delightful and really a fantastic product. And I'm going to end this review by saying, y'all come on down to southeastern Louisiana, and thank you for watching this video production.